for those who know us, we are known for offer on the protection of terminals and mobile terminals. There is a topic that is central, is the apps. So we wanted to focus on this theme, the security of apps. So, the apps are one of the key risks of using mobile terminal, whether you're a producer or consumer. The challenge is different. So we're all consumers. I'm sure that you've already spent half an hour on your mobile phone just to pick up your emails or use the app, including the INCYBER forum app. But these apps have a very strong link with your data, your private life. These apps know you. So this is the central link to app. Do you know what is the percentage of apps exfilter some data from the terminal? Over 62% of your apps collect data present on your terminal. Sometimes with your consent, but very often without your consent. We've known that since 2013, whenever a user in the world installs the app, we analyze these apps. We've analyzed hundreds of millions of apps over the past 10 years. So this is a colossal volume of data, so we know exactly the data that are exfiltered by apps. This is the story of Pradeo. It's a shame I don't have the monitor in front of me. So beyond this use connected to the exfiltering of data, you should know that about 70% of the apps include failures, mid or serious failures. So if we detect them, it means that a hacker can detect them as well and use them, exploit them. So 70% of the apps have vulnerabilities that are known and easy to use. Another significant figure is the size of the app market, over $500 billion. $500 billion. So advertising on mobiles is nearly 5 billion. So this means that the business is definitely switched to mobile. So when there is that much money involved, of course, the hackers are attracted because hackers go where the money is. So they go for the biggest market. So I wanted to prove, because we only believe in what we see, what we can put our finger on. A lot of our correspondents, the people we present our solutions to, tell us, well, not a lot is happening on our mobile phones. So I don't see anything, because you just don't measure it. You've observed what you've tried to measure. There's been a study, you've probably seen it, because it was actually it was in the news. It was in L'Œil du 20h, a TV program about the tracking that can be done legally just because your terminal identifies you through a advertising identifier. If you accept it to be followed by this advertising ID is going to go from one app to the next. We can analyze where you go to work, where your children go to school. So it is a wealth of information, and you know nothing about it. There are some people that are particularly sensitive that you don't want to identify like that. So look into that study. They really put a lot of resources in that, and the demonstration is really great. From your mobile, we can legally extract information to know you. So the identifier doesn't allow you to know you, but we know where we're going to work, where you live, and where you go after 8 o'clock. You're always on your mobile phone, so we end up knowing you. This is the main threat. So the apps that implement these behaviors are everywhere, and without you knowing it, and you don't control it. So you know that 89 apps, intrusive apps on a smartphone, you have hundreds of apps, natives, and the ones that you downloaded as a user. For your functional uses, these apps collect your data. And for those that you've downloaded free, well, there is this little ad that comes in once in a while because you don't want to pay for a subscription to this sports or other magazine. And this ad is an open door. And this open door is also where data can leak. And this is a door for hackers. So the mobile apps, please control them. This is where you're going to have some data leaks legally, or even if we can move forward, then maybe.
So we'll give you a few examples of a few malware. So the crypto hacker, this is an app where basically you try to identify your, well, it analyzes the characters and then it sees the path of the data to recover your crypto, especially the recognition phase, identification phase, and Spark4. Same thing, it's an app that tries to use the screenshot that you have taken so that they can recover your credential. And then what else? Viper is an app, is a malware, in fact, that is downloaded via ads. So it's fake ads that are pushed on your mobile phone, and they try to ask you to connect and give your credentials. That will then mean that the hackers can use them. So these are, well, this is our daily business today, and this is not something that companies monitor, because you can only control the apps that you distribute. And then I have a friend next to me that will tell you more about that, but you cannot always analyze what they do, and you cannot control what users do with their apps, and they have a lot. So what I wanted to talk about was mobile phone protection with a specific focus on apps and evidence. But apps, you can be the producer of apps as well. So regarding this, there's other challenges. Over to you. Good morning. So I will thank you, Renaud. First of all, Renaud mentioned the interest of securing your device. I believe that today a lot of people in this room here are aware of the fact that you have to protect your device. In your company, we were used to protecting all computers, the IT system, and for some, also we thought, yes, we also have to secure our device. We also thought, right, overall, this is a closer system, there's less important information, so the need was lesser. But we demonstrated today with Renaud that it is important all the same to know what happens in your employee's device, in yours in particular, but also your team member's device, because they have access to your information system and sensitive data. So this is something which is in motion. People gradually, the safety managers and so on, they pay more and more attention to this, because they realize that mobile phones can, convey leaks and access the information system. However, something which is not so checked is the apps, mobile apps. In the same way as the mobile phones are used everywhere, they are, the apps are also part of the usage. I heard the first speaker talking about the industry. In the industry, we have a lot of people that in mobility need a dedicated app to check whatever, etc. And so they will use their app. Your mobile phone application, in the same way, are part of the surface that hackers can attack, basically. And you might think, yeah, these apps do not include key information, but they can convey entry points for key information. So today, if you still doubt about the importance of securing your mobile apps and controlling whether they are secured or not, today in Russia, for example, we have a broker, so somebody that, so it's a company, legal company, that offers to buy exploits that to
prendre le contrôle,
take over
notamment de l'application Telegram.
the Telegram app
Jusqu'à $4 millions.
up to $4 million. So when you see that there are such amounts at stake, you realize the importance of data and of these apps.
Ça peut être pour rentrer dans votre
So it can be to enter your system and have personal data on some of your members, important people in your company, but it can also be to have direct access to your data and disrupt an app that is less secure than the rest. In India, for example, we had McDonald's. They have an app, and so here we're talking about an ethical hacker that did it just to prove it, but they were able, by analyzing the app, they were able to understand how the APIs worked, and they were able to place orders, in fact, at very low rates, so that they could have an order, but also redirect orders that were placed before, so stealing food basically, and have personal data for deliveries. So a lot of information that were given via the mobile app and the APIs that were secured. So you see the importance of testing your apps and making sure with pen tests, but also automated systems for each release of your app, that you have an app that is functional. So if you look at MongoDB, your app, usually, you might have a team that can understand safety and have something 100% safe, but usually they use libraries because you're not going to reinvent the wheel, and sometimes those libraries, we're not always aware that we embed them, and we're not always sure about what they do. So they can have, disrupted behavior such as zlib. That was a copycat of another library called zlib. And the copycat was zlib, and in fact this library did exactly the same thing as the previous one, but also they sent all your data on a malware. So in fact they recovered a lot of information that they would sell later on. So in the case of MongoDB, this was part of the app of this library, which was not secured, and they could execute codes in your database. So we see, in the case of MongoDB, we can have an app that is totally safe, but if you are not able to know what the library that you embed and what are the flow of data, then you can have losses and data leaks. A second aspect that is important in securing the apps is what Bruno mentioned before, is cloning apps. You can imagine having just an impact such as PUBG, that is in fact a functional cloning of an app that looks like Fortnite and uses the same codes, and you might think it doesn't really matter, it's functional. But the problem is that you can have clones that look like apps that are used and in fact embed malwares. And so what does that mean for you? It means that your apps, you have to secure them. Because today we have people that use, so in the case of the Futura app, for example, we talk about DroidBots, an app that was downloaded by people that thought they downloaded a security update of Android. And in fact, as Renaud mentioned before, it's a keylogger that looks at everything you type on the screen, all the apps, and so this company created a system to have all this information. And so in the last case, we even have, malware services. That is to say that the hackers created an administration board to hack 77 different entities and major French banks in particular to present screens and recover information. So again, you have to secure your app in the way it is designed, so test it and secure it, shield it, protect it, so that it cannot be cloned, to avoid this type of cases, basically. Just one comment about cloning. To raise awareness amongst our customers, we developed a cloning machine. In 12 minutes, we take the app of the Play Store, we produce a clone in which we add two risk behavior, and we see everything you type and everything you see on the screen, and we demonstrate that we can hack your data in real life. And for the user, nothing has changed. They have the same functions. We cloned, apps, and you can transfer money with the clone of the app. So as long as your PIN code or your credential is published in a store, it can be recovered by any hacker, and so it can be cloned. So you just have to make their life more complicated. So 12 minutes in this case, you have a problem. If it's 2 months to do it, it's far better. They will clone something else. So basically, there are real stakes around this. And today, unfortunately, 99 times out of 100, the cloning machine produces a functional clone with no protection. So if you do it on the North American market, there's much more active protection, and so the machine doesn't give an efficient result. So culture is more advanced to protect around clones in North America than here in Europe. So just to finish on this, because we didn't want to present only problems, we have solutions as well. Prado, we used to focus on security for terminals, especially with the apps, but we thought we're going to use our two legs, because our engine is the ability to show hidden behaviors of apps. And so Prado launched EAGAN. So this is our business unit that will bring you security offers for your apps, the ones that you develop and that you distribute in the public stores. And so we will also give you the evidence. So in this new engine on the market that will be at the heart of EAGAN, there's the ability to give you the evidence of the hidden behavior that we detected in the code of your applications or in the embedded libraries as well, which you do not control. So this evidence is a real progress in terms of R&D, because we give you the lines with the behavior. So this is a major progress, and it means we can deliver what looks like something like a cyber score. So it's a word that is well known now. But to tell you, so on various criteria, so connection to the network, etc., or weaknesses in the code, etc., etc. So all the libraries that are embedded, or even the trackers, we can describe everything automatically. So each time, for each release of your app, we can give you the compliance of the apps that you deliver. So it's a real progress, and we give you this evidence. What we detected, we tell you where it is in the code of your application. So this is a major progress. A lot of customers using our technology wanted it, and now it's done. We took 3 years to develop this, but now we give you the location of the risk behavior in the app. So come and see us. We will be able to demonstrate. So come to our stand A19, and we can show you what we can do. Thank you, guys. We have 5 minutes maybe for a question from the audience. I don't know who wants to start.
C'est toujours la première question la plus difficile.
The first one is always the hardest. Sir, let me come to you.
Bonjour, merci pour cette
Good morning,
présentation.
thank you.
Quand vous trouvez un code malicieux,
So when you find a malware or a library, do you report them to the professionals or individual players even?
Je sais pas, par exemple,
Through
l'application qui stocke
the app that stores
ces logiciels.
all the software, for example, we report it to our customers. So our customers pay us, so we will probably do it differently to make it more public, especially via CTI, for example, information feeds. But today, we communicate to our customers either because they use our protection solution or because they have our engine, and so in this case, they have access to the information right away after the audit. So when you have an audit, it's less than 10 minutes, in fact, so it is really, so we integrate in the CNC chain. So basically, you trigger the audit, it's compliant, you publish it. So this is our target. So we integrate the production line and distribution line of the app so that you have something immediate. So a pen test, yes, you have to do it because it will go further. But at some point, when you have 3, 4, 5 releases per year, you need something automated to have this control. This is what we will deliver. So it's mainly for our customers.
Très bien, messieurs.
Great, thank you so much, guys. A big round of applause.